Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a customer. How do you sell to a CXO? All right? So what are my tips for you guys about who are good salespeople that come in my office and who are evil and get shut out long before they can get anywhere near the door?
The first answer I give you is probably at the root of the whole project, and that was the quality of the team. And the great thing about that team was that everybody that came to the table came there because they passionately believed, as you've just said, that this was about something that they will probably never be involved in again in their life. And then I think underpinning that, the vision about what it was we really wanted to do off the back of this. And I got asked if I would do that. So a good chunk of the team was there to start with, and then I needed to recruit a few people who I trusted and I knew had been in this before, and we needed to put some people in place because we came to the table as a candidate city, if I'm being honest, not in great shape. You know, there were 5 sensational cities sitting there, all that had staged the games in one way or another before. We were mid to low table, and I decided we really only had 3 or 4 months to turn the perception about what we were and who we were and what we were talking about around before we got to Athens, the games in July, August of that year.
I'm responsible for the delivery of 25,000 desktops to the bank's UK estate, and the consolidation of our infrastructure into our data center for the delivery of the desktop services and service management to our end user community. It was an extremely smooth process. Whilst it was difficult, we had a partner by which we felt comfortable that when we hit a target in terms of when we needed to complete it, we were actually going to get there, and that's where the consistency is actually key. It was a company that we felt had a lot to put into the relationship with Barclays, into really establishing their strategic focus in the UK market, and we felt that there was a two-way street here. We needed a long-term provider that we can feel comfortable in delivering the desktop service.
Somebody who's a good listener.
Number 1 on the list is listen.
1, I'd say good listening, because I think too many of them talk and don't listen, so I think being a first-class listener.
Research when you're coming into an organisation is vital. Knowing what you need to do to get into the sensitivities of that company is vital. If you're not pressing the buttons, you're just not going to get through the door. Well, you might the first time, but you certainly won't come back.
Understanding our business, understanding the dynamics of our business, and then what is the appropriate solution.
Account managers that know their subject are really important. There's always a difference between a technical expert and a selling expert, so necessarily the level of technical expertise will be different. But we had an experience about a month ago with one of our current suppliers, but a new personality within that current supplier, and it was an experience that really shone out, and they were being given quite a hard time by our CIO, who's very good at asking difficult questions, and that is part of his job. And every question that was asked was responded to with a very calm, measured and quite matter-of-fact set of answers. It wasn't monotone, it wasn't boring, but the person talking was very confident in their subject matter. They researched the issues, they knew what they were talking about, and they were more interested in answering the question clearly than proving that they were better than other people. And actually by answering the question clearly, showing a degree of technical understanding and a degree of understanding of what British Airways needs were, that actually put that person several notches up in the mindsets of the BA people in the room. That was a really great experience.
But always be thinking about what the best solution for the customer is, rather than necessarily your own selling organisation, because I think if you're concentrating on what you can get out of the customer as your priority, I think that's in the end not going to establish an effective relationship.
Somebody who's come in is not prepared and hasn't prepared to really ensure that my time is well spent, so somebody that I regard as a time waster. And therefore they're coming in and they haven't really understood what I'm looking for, and they're wasting my time.
Not knowing what they're talking about, not listening.
The worst account manager is someone who doesn't recognise that one of my buyers has the authority to do the deal and keeps wanting to have senior intervention. To me, they're just not picking up on the signals of the company. And that to me says, if you don't understand this at the beginning of a relationship, how on earth will you understand that as we go through a relationship? It really turns me off.
Because again, I think that leads to a dilution of your ability to sell to the organisation. You'll find organisations better at uniting the customer perspective, and in the end it will be counterproductive. Turn off.
I work for Abbey National Bank. I'm the IT alignment manager. Abbey National is undergoing a lot of changes at the moment. One of those changes is moving from a group of small companies to one large company to achieve cost effectiveness. We had to increase our flexibility, particularly with the amount of change going on within Abbey National at the moment. We needed to change some of the ways we delivered service in some of the areas, and we needed to improve the quality of the service overall. Of issues, how we bring IT together, how we bring desktop management services together, and across the company at the moment we currently have a variety of methods of delivering desktop management services.